Once, a young schoolboy accidentally inhaled an overdose of chlorine gas during a chemistry practical. He was strictly advised by his teachers to never opt for a career in chemistry. Today, he is the proud winner of several coveted awards in the field of chemistry, and in the career spanning over 30 years has headed the National Chemical Laboratory and Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, IISER in Pune. We are talking about none other than India's chemistry marvel, Professor K.N. Ganesh.
For the past 15 to 20 years, my group has been working in the area of genetic medicines. DNA is the genetic material. The double helical structure of DNA encodes all the information which is necessary to make proteins which are functional in a cell. When proteins become defective, we get diseases. So then we put drugs, medicines, when we take, they go and bind to these defective proteins and thereby they inactivate them. Alternatively, instead of making a drug which binds to a defective protein, we can go back to the gene which makes the defective protein and tackle and inactivate the gene itself. That is the genetic medicine. Already 3 drugs have come out of this new principle. When this works in a universal way, it becomes very easy to design new drugs for several diseases ranging from bacterial infections to cancer and to a wide varieties of diseases using a common principle.
Having devoted his entire life in studying the chemistry of DNA and genetics, his secret to success too comes from his genes. His father, a mathematics teacher, instilled in him the habit of working hard in a focused way.
Not only he used to teach in school, he used to do a lot of teaching at home. From him I learned not only the hard working, but also I learned the enjoyment of teaching.
Inspired by his father, K.N. Ganesh too wanted to pursue maths, but did not have enough marks for it. A score of 98 in chemistry and his father's encouragement brought him to Bangalore University, where he took admission into BSc Chemistry.
But in the very first lecture, T.D. Bhaskar showed us an experiment while teaching the structure of atoms, in which we actually saw an electron. And it was a great experience, an inspiring experience. Unfortunately, today, we lack such teachers who can inspire us through experiments.
Although he had some fabulous professors, it was his mentor, late N.R. Krishnaswamy, whose ideals K.N. Ganesh tries to imbibe in his life even today.
A very soft-spoken person, and we had to sit right in front of the classroom to hear him, but a great teacher. He taught us that chemistry is not just memory, but it has logic, and that had a great effect on my life. He was the one who was instrumental in sending me to Delhi University to do my PhD.
With the fire of research lit within him, there was no turning back from here.
When I got a job in Hext company, but G.B. Subramaniam advised me to go to Cambridge. By the time I had received a fellowship from Cambridge, and that changed my whole life. The next 3 years, 1977 to 1980, I spent at Cambridge Chemical Laboratory, and I had to do another degree entirely for a different technical reason.
While on the move, K.N. Ganesh found his love for traveling and realized that it is the best way to learn. His work with Jeremy Sanders gave him the opportunity to visit Canada and the US. He enjoyed traveling so much that he never saved any money, but spent it all on backpacking around Europe. In spite of having limited time for himself, he always kept his passion for music alive.
And my passion is music, but I'm omnivorous. I like music of all kind, although I developed a good taste for Western classical music. Particularly I like Tchaikovsky's ballet music very much, and of course Bach and waltz music, I like it very much. But I also love very much of normal Hindi music. Once I start, I get very involved in the music, and that really unwinds me.
He also made sure to devote time to his fondness for paintings related to scientific themes. By 1981, his professional career was reaching great heights, and his personal life too had something special in store.
It's very interesting. When I got back from Cambridge, I went to Bangalore and settled down there. One of the days I went and joined Institute of Science, Bangalore as a research associate, and that's where I met Professor C.N.R. Rao. One of the days he invited me for his house where I met Suchitra. She was under the impression that I am yet another student who is coming to meet Professor Rao, but my mission was different.
We sort of have some common interests in music, and then we spend time just chatting about general things, and then regarding television, Ganesh and me, both of us like all these reality shows, and sometimes he gives me company watching CID, predicting all the dialogues as usual. So it's that. We say that even he can start writing dialogues, and he can produce serials.
The couple's dedication towards their work has now been inculcated in their children, Karthik and Suguna, who are making their marks in the fields of medicine and economics respectively. Along with being a devoted father, K. and Ganesh loved to work with people. When he was made the head of NCL, he used this opportunity to lead his team on a variety of research programs.
When I joined NCL, I was given the responsibility of starting an interface between chemistry and biology. Dr. L.K. Doraiswamy, Dr. Mashelkar and Dr. Shivaram, they shaped up my leadership skills in science at NCL. At NCL, I could establish a very competent laboratory for research in nucleic acids, which is now widely recognized internationally.
One of the finest human beings I have come across. I could learn many aspects, how to be a just, how to face controversies, listen to dissent, how do you take a decision whenever you are under pressure. More than that, I have seen him as one of the greatest scientists and administrators.
His calling for teaching then took him to IISER in 2006.
It was the vision of Dr. Mashelkar and Dr. Shivaram to locate one of the IISERs, the very first one at NCL. So my job was to build a new institution right from scratch. Fortunately, the government gave enough funds, and they also gave me enormous freedom, and within about 10 years we have now established IISER Pune as one of the front institutions for science, education and research in the country. The main emphasis at IISER is to train students in a broad interdisciplinary manner and also develop a research based education system.
Leading the life of a scientist with strict values and work ethics, K. N. Ganesh is a true representation of an intellect with simplicity. He strongly believes that research in the fields of DNA and peptide nanotechnology has miles to go.
In science, the more you know, the more you don't know. Science thrives on ignorance. It is like a forest of ignorance. You should never cut the trees of a forest because the forest would lose its beauty. Science is also in the same way. Keep asking questions and try to reach the end which does not exist.